understanding, and certainly beyond yours. If anyone has any doubts, set them aside now.
This defies rational understanding. It's the frayed edge when natural philosophy crosses over into something else.
Yes, I can feel it. We risk madness.
The more I hear, the more I think this is ill-advised. Who wants to speak with the dead? If this Delilah really was killed or banished from the world, what if she's lost her mind?
Delilah's stronger than before. The Duke and I have heard her voice, whispering to us. And now it's time. So take your positions.
Okay. A little questionable why they bothered inviting the Crown Killer.
Focus on the void behind the road. You can feel her power, can't you?
By the stars, this is more exciting than any orgy I've ever attended.
Wait! We can't really...
Idiot!
Here, returned from the cold, from forever.
How curious. It seems to have worked.
My spirit is safe now, inside this thing. Luca, you must lock it away.
I can still see the insides. One has become a stone, the other reforged and marked by the one whose eyes are black.
Poor Aramis. I feel obliged to take care of him out of loyalty to my father.
Huh? What?
Wait. You are hidden, but I know who you are. I know when you are. You've come to watch me return, and someday I'll come for you.
The void beyond the world is strange. I won't ever understand all I've seen.
Okay.
Focus on the void.
Oh, and it's just gonna play on loop.
You can feel her
So, yeah, that one's just kind of.
By the stars, this is more
I don't. It doesn't make. Why does Aramis Stilton go crazy there? Like, is it because he was like kind of unsure? Like he's kind of pacing around,
Here,
and then
return
they're like talking, and then he's just like, "Okay, I'm crazy."
from
Like, what was that? That's bizarre. But anyways, yes, that okay, whatever. And then that's kind of this whole scene is a little awkward because they're just kind of standing in a circle, and it's not really clear how the seance is happening. How you even get her out of the void in the first place? That seems pretty difficult. But maybe... No, wait, Brianna's not a witch anymore because Delilah's not even in the world at this time. So I don't know how they're doing it. I guess it's just like some ritual. Maybe anybody could do it if they knew how. But yada yada yada, that you saw that. Now I'm going to load the save that I made earlier. This isn't going to make some sense at first. But that was... Okay, so I have everything I need. Go through here. Go to Aramis Stilton's backyard. We're going to go back to where Stilton was. And this is what happens if you do it the first time. You don't need to, like, mess around like how I did. But if you just go to get the Stilton combination from this guy, you literally just go here, take out a sleep dart.
This is to keep you from seeing whatever drove you into a nightmare tonight.
Yep. Okay, so he's knocked out. Back to Aramis Stilton's... Oh, actually, you know what? I could... No, it's better if I go into the manor to show you this. So he's knocked out. I gotta go... There's a loading screen between the inside and the outside, even though that area is so small, but I guess they have to load like a skybox or whatever. President Gate, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm here. And now if you go to the timepiece...
I'm going to bring the guard down on you. Consider yourself.
What? And it's like, what's going on? And you go over here. There, let's go like up, 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 up. This is the present now. It's not dilapidated anymore. It's like, oh, what's that about? And then you can see, I think if I just go in there now. Here, we're back in the past, 1849. 5. 7. 9, and then look at all this. I mean, just take a look. Like, the place looks wonderful now. What's up with that? You know, I'm kind of feigning ignorance. I know why it is, but I'm going to get into it because I'm going to show you the scene again.
You seem to be the worst here. The two times are overlapping now somehow.
To begin, where's Stilton? I should never have kept him on just because he and my father were close.
What we're about to attempt has never been done. It's beyond my understanding, and certainly beyond yours. If anyone has any doubts...
Oh, does this not go off until that's done? There we go.
Focus on the void behind the world. You can feel her power.
And it's like, okay, now they're just doing it with 4 people? So Stilton didn't really even need to be there? So, I guess the seance doesn't really have any hard and fast rules. And then... So, since Stilton is unconscious, because I knocked him out, he does not make an appearance at the seance, which means that he never goes crazy, which means that he just remains for the rest of the timeline. Like, the timeline gets filled in backwards. He is just continuing to be the Mind Baron in Karnaca, and it's gonna get messy after this point. Okay, whatever. I saw it. I saw what happened. You are here. You are... Bada, 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 bada. Shut your hole, buddy. I can go back through here. And then... Oh, look, that thing that I talked about earlier with the... With this. Now I can do that. This office space has been built. And that's kind of a cool part of it, where it's like, okay, now that this mansion continues to be lived in by Stilton. This is a big statue of Theodonis, which is nice. And that is a really big painting of a room in a room with similar furniture. That's a little strange. Oh yeah, they're asking about how he likes the new office. Stilton and Abel to discuss a miners' fund. Aramis Stilton has called for a meeting with Duke Luca Abel to negotiate the creation of a new fund to benefit the victims of mining incidents. Currently, no such fund exists, or simply my girlfriend. And it's like, okay, this is getting a little. Well, I'll just. It's getting ridiculous. It's like, what? This seems like important. Aramis Stilton, who apparently owned half the mines at Karnaca, and was like a humble guy who was cool with everything and like understood the plight of the miners, is still alive in this timeline now. And, hold on. Let's bring out the heart. Is there anything new here? No. And, like, living in the Dust District and everything.
Hey, aren't you working another excavate?
Nope.
What do you want? Step back.
Alright. So this is just some guy's house now. And it's Stilton's house. And... Which is weird, but it gets slightly... This is the part that really ticks me off. We're going to go back to the Dust District now that we've done all this. We've seen the seance. We incapacitated Stilton. He never went to the seance. Go to the Dust District. Look at this. I have to wait for the thing to load. This is technically still level 7. No Jindosh lock, even though the box for the Jindosh lock is still here. Maybe that's just an oversight. Ah! I forgot about this part. This part's kind of neat. And he catches you. It's like, oh, that's cool.
Look around you. A crumbling island at the very edges of the void. But this one is special. It's the place where my throat was cut 4,000 years ago.
Okay, yeah, this nonsense.
This is where my life ended. And where it began again. It's where they made me.
This part of the void feels older.
Right up until the end, I thought I'd find a way to escape. I fought, but the rooms only cut my skin, so I went limp. And then the knife touched my throat, and I knew I'd waited too long. The blood ran out, and I became a god.
Yeah, we're getting outsider origin story now, of all times.
The void and should have been lost forever.
Yeah, because the dad.
Her will and cunning are second to none. She found this place, the island in the void where I became what I am. It changed her, and she discovered a way to draw from it, tapping into the power here. Delilah is a part of me now, and I don't like it.
So, okay. This is a lot to take in.
I have to give Delilah. She tore out a piece of herself and hid it away, inside a thing made of bones. She's made herself immortal. If you want to kill Delilah, you're going to have to find her spirit and give it back to her. Reaching it won't be easy, but what comes after that might be the hardest thing you will ever have to do.
The world contains more mysteries than I imagined.
Does it? The plot contains more holes than I imagined. Okay, maybe they're not holes, but what is happening? Like, what? She was floating endlessly in the void, but then she found the island? What, did she swim there? And then she goes there and she's like, oh, it's where the outsider got his origin story. Because he used to be a human dude, and then he was sacrificed in a special way, and he became God. And then she was like, if I just suck all the power out of this, and it's not entirely certain how, she just kind of absorbed power from it. And it's like, okay, wait, so she's powerful now, right? But she's not as powerful as the outsider. But she used that power to, I guess, tell Brianna to, like, hey, do a seance and pull me out. I guess that's what the power was used for, and how she... And then look at this! Look at this stupid shit! I opened this, look! The freaking Dust District is fine now! It's like middle class now. Because the miners they got Stilton to help them out.
Yeah, the Duke is rotten and it spreads out from there. But Airman Stilton is a good man.
I'll tell him you said that. He drinks at my brother's pub.
He knows we appreciate him.
Oh yeah, Stilton's great.
Problems, but it could be a lot worse here in this district.
In this district,
Who's gonna say anything?
like, look. Okay, so most of the level that you could play through earlier is blocked off. So, but look, like, what is going on?
I've heard that Stilton agreed to a meeting with the woman heading up the family committee. What's her name again?
Lucille passed.
And then,
Supposed to talk to Stilton
and it's like, this doesn't. Isn't this silly? Like, let me talk about this. So, what I did was change the timeline in a way that is seemingly significant, but apparently not at all. I stopped Airman Stilton from going mad, and they said, oh, Airman Stilton, he owns half the mines in Karnaca, and he's a really good guy, and he's willing to stick up for the workers and help them out, even if it means going up against the Duke. I feel like having a guy like Airman Stilton, like having a player like him, who owns half the mines of Karnaca, would significantly change the events of history that led up to this point, from 3 years until now. Like, would the Duke even have all this stuff going on, where he would, like, consolidate power and then work with Delilah and then all that? Would that happen? Apparently, yeah. Because apparently the only thing that Airman Stilton does, if he lives or dies, is make the Dust District nice or not.
But things have changed here.
And it's like, what in the world is... Huh? And the outsider just gives you the timepiece to do that? Why? Because he's like, I want you to see what happened 3 years ago, and there's a bit of the void leaking out. And I guess that has something to do with how he's pissed at Delilah for, like, sucking part of his power. But also, why did the outsider... Like, this is bonkers, right? This is nuts.
You will keep taking, consuming until someone puts an...
And then look at this. You ready?
You're back. That was quick.
Megan Foster has her eye and her arm back now because the way that she lost her eye and her arm 3 years ago was when she went to Aramis Stilton's house and then she got her ass kicked by a bunch of guards. That's how she lost her eye and her arm. So not only that, I have uncrippled someone, which is just a bonus, I guess. Uh-huh. Yeah. This is stupid. But, oh. Okay, I'm riled up. I need to just continue watching the cutscenes.
In order to build a lavish structure that cost enough to feed everyone in Serkonos for years.
I'm gonna drink water to cool down.
It's said to be a sprawling estate to humble all others, a monument to his ego and sense of princely entitlement. But whatever the Duke has done to his nation happened while I was Empress. In Dunwall, we were content to look the other way as long as the silver kept flowing. I've got to get inside.
Yeah, silver kept flowing, but also not as quickly now, right? Because Aramis Stilton is running the mines, and he doesn't overwork the miners. Unless he's still around, but the Duke is just walking all over him, which doesn't seem like a thing that would happen, knowing what we know about Stilton. And seeing what happened with the Dust District, with the timeline and stuff like...
This is my last time. Soon I'll dissolve into the great nothing.
You should be at peace.
I've stayed too long.
It's when stuff like this changes, it's like, okay, what else changed? And the answer, for the sake of this game, is nothing. Nothing else has changed in the timeline.
You will, very soon.
Which is, remember when I said time travel, it's cool, but it can get really messy and ruin everything? This seems to have done that. And then, okay, you ready for this? Hold on, was it mission briefing? Is it? Are they up top?
I believe it's taken this long for someone to go after the Duke. Another aristocratic.
Everyone's upstairs.
But his father and I were close.
And Aramis still just here, and he's hanging out with us. And Megan, yeah, she's
Ruler of Serkonos have very real consequences.
He could always count on the backing of Dunwall's finances and navy. Maybe without that, he would have developed a healthy respect for the people of Serkonos.
And okay, so if Aramis Stilton's here and he's helping us out,
There's been a fine motive.
has he been here the whole time? That's a question you don't really get answered. Apparently not.
We can build something better here.
Oh,
something
yeah.
more representative and inclusive.
That's wonderful. Let's start the... Oh my god. Oh, a whale.
Are you ready for this?
I've been inside a dozen castles and 100 mansions, and they're the same everywhere. The Duke's palace can't be anything worse than Lady Brisby's social afternoons.
Getting inside might not be the hard part. The Duke doesn't exactly run a tight ship.
Taking down Duke Abel is only part of the puzzle. You've also got to find whatever it is he's keeping for Delilah.
You were cryptic about what you gleaned from visiting the Dust District, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
The world is better with a hint of mystery. But once you're inside the Grand Palace, whatever you do could affect things in Karnaca for years to come. Remember that.
I've got a map of the Grand Palace for you, and I know something that may be useful. There's a hidden lever in the pantry that opens a passage to the Duke's vault. If he's keeping anything precious for Delilah, I suspect that's where it'll be. Beyond that, good hunting.
I'll see what I can do. I know things in Karnaca are fragile, and I've got a lot to think about after all this.
It's not as fragile as they could be, because of time travel.
I hope I've been of some help to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to feel useful here near the end of my time.
And what I'm saying about where it's like, okay, apparently nothing changed, is because, and I'm not going to show it, because I'd have to do the mission over again. If you do that mission, and you just, what's the term? And you just leave him alone, like you completely don't touch Aramis Stilton, like how I did before, and you just go through the seance and he goes crazy, then nothing changes. Nothing changes. Really. Like, you enter the Dust District and you leave it the way that it was entered. And... And it is insane that someone like the Outsider just lets this happen, but also I guess it's alright because nothing happened. So
now we're going after the one who started it all.
This is some Megan audio. I think there was one of this in the last level and I forgot to listen to it.
I forgot the thrill of it. Planning drop-off points and picking the approach. Thinking about the best ways to kill somebody who lives behind high walls. But with the excitement, there's a black echo that comes back to me for what I did at Dunwall Tower. If anyone deserves killing, though, it's Duke Luca Abel. I've loved a number of women, and even a couple of men. But I've never loved anyone like my Deirdre. After I left home, those first years on the streets, she's all that kept me from the bottom of the river. I could sleep on a pile of garbage under a leaky awning as long as she was there with me. Sharing a tin of potted meat or a bottle of brandy that we nicked during the day. The Duke and his little brother came through Dunwall. And Deirdre and I got in their way as they stepped out of their fancy coach. The Duke goaded his brother, calling us wharf roaches. And it was the brother who swung the stick that killed her. Splitting her skull, there were wooden gazelles on top of the coach. And I snapped one off and drove it into his eye, as deep as it would go. Deirdre was already gone. Dead as a doornail. Lying in the muck, staring up at the gray Dunwall sky. On the run after that. I was hunted by the City Watch and even members of the Grand Guard up from Zirconos. People looked at me like I was cursed, spitting whenever I got close. Everyone knew I'd bring trouble. Even the gangs. The Duke's brother has been dead for a long time. But now's my chance to get back at Luca Abel for setting him off against pretty, young Deirdre. Nothing was the same for me after they took her away.
Yeah, okay. It's a little strange. I want to talk to Aramis so I can get a little bit more mad.
It's not widely known, but the Duke has a body double. The man is the spitting image of Luca.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay. Is there any rooms here? No? Okay. And I'll have my powers back for this. Timepiece disappears after that level. I guess you just like throw it in the trash. Whatever.
Ready to visit the Duke?
Alright, let's go. I like parts of this level. I actually don't remember if I liked the whole level, but I remember there were parts that I did like, and some parts that I didn't. Then again, I didn't like the Dust District going in, but I ended up having fun playing through it again for this Let's Play. So maybe I just need a fresh set of eyes.
At the palace. The Duke
It's weird looking at her with both eyeballs.
Meant to confuse assassins. A friend of mine washes the linens and said the double is a smoker, if that helps. Maybe you can talk to him. She says he's a nice guy. What a shitty job. Pretending to be a tyrant like Duke Luca Abel.
It's remarkable that people tolerate the Duke.
He's got an army, control of the mines, and he's had your support from the capital. At the Duke's parties, people carve up the country while eating boiled crab.
There were parties like that in Dunwall, full of toadies sucking up to me, stabbing each other in the back.
Poor Empress. I could see those party lights from the roof of the abandoned butcher shop where I slept. In the flooded district.
I know you grew up hard, Megan. I used to wander Dunwall with my face hidden. But when I got tired of it, I could always go back to the tower. Karnaka's given me perspective.
Good. After you've eliminated the Duke, find what he's holding for Delilah and take it. When you're finished, I'll pick you up in the skiff.
It's a nice little conversation there. But this game is pretty heavy-handed when it comes to like, hey, Emily, you were kind of a shitty empress.
Sorry if I sound bitter. Don't turn your back on the Duke.
Yeah.
After we leave Karnaca, there are some things we need to talk about. Things I feel remorse over.
Yep. Love you, Megan. Okay. What's this level like again? This is the Duke's Palace. Is there anything I can grab? Okay. What is it? The first part I remember I really like.